Batch number 48 of the Eco Cha Tea Club is an Alishan High Mountain Black Tea, harvested summer 2019 from our regular source of Alishan High Mountain Oolong and Alishan High Mountain Qing Xin Oolong. And our source has been making black tea for a few years now, and we've been keeping an eye on it. And this year we feel like he has really made significant progress in producing an exceptional batch of High Mountain black tea, or what is also known as small leaf black tea, given that the leaves are harvested from Qing Xin Oolong strain of tea plants. And this year, one reason we believe that this batch is exceptional is that the leaves have been allowed to mature more fully. So we're gonna go, we have a 175 milliliter Gaiwan teapot, and we're going to put about, let's go with, should we go for it? Maybe 11? Okay, 11 grams. So that's close to a 1 to 15 ratio. It's going up there in terms of a black tea ratio. So maybe you want to start with 1 to 20. If you have a 200 milliliter pot, you could put 10 grams of tea leaves in. As you can see, these leaves are curled, as most black tea is made, rather than rolled like oolongs. And so they will brew more quickly as well. You can do a little bit shorter steepings to make sure they don't oversteep. Obviously, there's a lot more leaf surface exposure, and things will happen more quickly, given that they don't have to open up from a tightly rolled ball. And with black teas, we like to just go for it and not do a rinse, because they are that volatile. We want to get that first taste from the leaves as they instantly start brewing. So we're going to bypass the rinse and just go for the first brew. So maybe 40 seconds or so for the first brew. We went with full boiling temperature water, or close to it, above 90 degrees. I'm getting a nice malty flavor aroma coming off the leaves. They're still getting fully moistened. It's like dried orange, kind of a kumquat, a little bit citrusy, but very sweet at the same time. You could easily go to honey, but it's a little more refined than that, not so thick. It's delicate. As you can see, that's a nice transparent brew there. Let the second brew happen while we taste the first brew. Bergamot. That's what I was looking for. There's bergamot in it. I'm just discovering that now. I've tasted this tea, obviously, more than a couple of times, and I kept going citrus, but sweet and fragrant. I think it's bergamot with a darker kind of base to it, a little bit of caramel. It's a really integrated brew. It's got that solid base of bitter and sweet, so combined that you can't really separate them. Just this opacity to the flavor, or the palate, if I may use that term, just so integrated that it's one thing, that bitter and sweet quality. I love that. When it hits my tongue and I can't tell if it's bitter or sweet because it's both. That to me is a sign of something that's well processed, so that all the flavors are combining into one delivery, so to speak. Yeah, so I think as much as I can tell, I wasn't there when it was processed. Black tea seems to be a fairly SOP process in terms of the timing of things, as opposed to oolong, where it's really important, the solar withering and the tumbling. These leaves are worked, right? So I believe it has a lot to do with the raw material, so to speak, the actual crop of harvested leaves. And my guess is that these leaves have more to offer because of their maturity. And there's more substance and balance to their brew. It's not astringent. It's a nice clean finish, but it's not drying on the tongue. There's something about small leaf black tea, and particularly small leaf black tea made with Qing Xin Oolong strain, and combined with the fact that they're grown at elevation, high mountain elevation, I should say, above 1,000 meters. It has that oolong character. It has that clean, light, crisp character. Very in stark contrast, if I may say so, to the heavier, thicker black teas that can be very pleasing in a malty sense, but this is refined in comparison. Third brew here. Love the color. It's orangey golden as it's coming out of the white porcelain pot here. I'll hold it up again, see if we can get a good view of it. It's a red tea, of course in Chinese, black tea is called Hong Cha, which means red tea, and obviously there's the reason. It's quite reddish in the brew. But look how transparent that is. It's not opaque at all. And that in oolong tea making especially, that is a very significant factor in assessing the quality of the tea, how transparent it is. And that's mostly in relation to the moisture being fully depleted from the leaves. There's no murkiness to it. Well, I could sit here wondering what adjective is the best to describe this tea. It's really nice, balanced, complex, clean black tea made from Alishan High Mountain Qing Xin Oolong tea leaves from our regular source of Alishan High Mountain tea. We're really excited that he seems to be getting a handle on getting the best out of his summer bumper crop, or spring bumper crop / summer crop, to make a fine batch of black tea. Please let us know what you think, and post your comments and any questions you might have about this batch of tea in the comment sections of our blog posts. And if you haven't already, please sign up for our YouTube channel. Share the videos with anybody you think might appreciate them to learn about our tea club as you are. Thanks for being with us, and we'll see you next month.